right. Good job for finding me via YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like so you can get any new videos that I release automatically. Okay, well, today this is a reading lesson. We're going to read another nonfiction article. It's in your student reference or your student response book, and it is page 38 to 39. Now, while you're pulling that out, keep in mind that we've been using some text features for when we're reading our nonfiction, our expository texts, and we've been checking out the summaries in the back of books, table of contents, to see what's inside that we could jump to. Index, remember that's in the back of the book. If there's a specific word topic that you're looking for, index can tell you what what pages those words would come up. Glossary, that's your dictionary for that specific book. Text boxes, usually around a picture or a drawing to give you a little bit more information. Title and headings. Now, title and headings, we're going to practice using title and headings today, just right now, using our student response book, pages 38 to 39. We're just going to read the title and the headings, and then we're going to pause and think about what information that we would expect to learn from this article. So the title is Jump Rope, Then and Now. That's on page 38. Let's see, one of the headings is Coming to America. All right, look over at the other page, 39, Jumping Today, Jump Rope Songs, and Important Dates in Modern Jump Rope History. So based on the title and the headings, tell someone that's nearby or think it to yourself, what do you think you're going to learn about today when we read this article? Okay, well, here we go. Let's start. Page 38. Follow along with me. Have you ever jumped rope? It's a fun activity that kids do in schoolyards and on sidewalks everywhere. Did you know that people have been jumping rope for a long, long time? In fact, the origins of jumping rope go back thousands of years, but it has come a long way since then. No one knows for sure when or how jumping rope started. Some say the game originated in Egypt more than 3,000 years ago, where the Egyptians jumped over vines as a form of play. What we do know is that jumping rope began in ancient times and has traveled around the world. Okay, coming to America. It is believed that Dutch settlers brought jumping rope to the American colonies in the 1600s. Some say it was the Dutch who developed a new way to jump called double Dutch, which is one of the more popular and difficult jumping games today. Now in this game, two people hold two ropes, one end of each rope in each hand, and turn them in opposite directions as jumpers jump over both ropes. 300 years later, in the 1940s and 50s, jumping rope became popular with kids in America's cities. At that time, young jumpers used jump ropes as a form of play because it required only a rope and almost anyone could learn how to do it. Later in the 1970s, Americans became more and more concerned with being fit and healthy. This led to an increased interest in jumping rope as a form of physical fitness. During this time, two New York City police officers, David A. Walker and Ulysses Williams, turned double Dutch into a world-class sport. On February 14, 1974, nearly 600 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students participated in the first double Dutch tournament ever held. Okay, so let's pause there for just a second. Let's think to ourselves or tell somebody, what are some reasons that jumping rope became popular in America? What are some reasons? If you need more time to come up with reasons, you should pause me because I'm going to say it for those of you that are ready. You could have said that it became popular as a form of fitness. It also became popular because all you need is a rope, and almost anybody can learn how to jump rope. So just a few of the things that you could have said. Flip your book or turn your page over to page 39. The top, it says jumping today. Today, jumping is seen as a fun way for both kids and grown-ups to play and exercise, which has resulted in the formation of many jump rope organizations and clubs. There are also special jump rope events, including some that raise money for charities. In 1978, Jean Barco, a high school physical education teacher, held a jump rope-a-thon. Sorry, I lost my spot. A jump rope-a-thon, which raised $2,032 for the American Heart Association. Since then, Barco's annual event, now called Jump Rope for Heart, has raised more than $750 million. People jump rope competitively as well. Competitive jumpers work on their speed and fancy jumping moves. In 2012, Jolene Kempenier set a world record by jumping 204 times in 30 seconds. 204 times in 30 seconds. That's crazy fast. Instead of having some fun with your friends, getting some exercise, or enjoying some interested in having some fun with your friends, getting some exercise, or enjoying some serious competition, grab a rope and get jumping. Okay, so what information, there was a lot of information in that little section, jumping today. So let's pause for a second. What is the information in the second section organized? I'm sorry, how? How is the information in the second paragraph organized? I'm sorry, not paragraph. I haven't read jump rope songs. Let me read that and then ask my question again. That will make a lot more sense. Sorry. Jump rope songs. Jump rope songs include singing songs in rhythm with the jumping and rope turning. Now, often the words in these songs include instructions to the jumpers on how to jump and when to jump into and out of the turning rope. Teddy bear, turn around. The jumper turns in a circle. Teddy bear, touch the ground. The jumper has to touch the ground. Teddy bear, tie your shoe. The jumper touches his or her shoe. Teddy bear, how old are you? And then you have to keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on until the jumper reaches the age that they called out. Okay, so that's a little bit different. So now let's look at the second section and think, how is this organized? There are some steps. Okay, let's look at the paragraphs. What is the first paragraph about in jumping today? Might have to reread to remember, what is that first paragraph about? You could say some different things about how it was talking about how people started raising money back in the 70s and are still doing it today. And a lot of other organizations and clubs have sprung up recently. That's kind of that opening, is just letting us all know about what's going on with jump ropes today. Let's look at that second paragraph. What is that second paragraph about? That one's all about the competitions and setting world records. 204 times in 30 seconds. That's a crazy world record. All right, let's look at that last paragraph. What is that last paragraph trying to tell us? How is it organized? Gives you some questions, tries to motivate you to get out there and get jumping. Okay, the last thing that we're going to look at is the very bottom of page 39, where it says important dates in modern jump rope history. Now you can see there's a little bit of a timeline, and it goes from 1970 to 2010, And there are a lot of things that happened along the way. Now, one important thing to keep in mind about a timeline is that it's going to go in chronological order. Okay, so we're going to start with the oldest thing. I mean, not the oldest, but in this little timeline, the oldest, which was February of 1974. And that was when the first Double Dutch tournament was held. And then you jump forward to March of 1978, and that was where Jean Barco held her first competition, or jump-a-thon, excuse me. And then in September of 1979, the Heart Association turned Barco's idea into a national school event, Jump Rope for Heart. And then we jump forward to October of 1995. And now the organization USA Jump Rope is formed and formed to promote jumping rope as a form of exercise and a competitive sport. Then we go all the way over to 2006, where the FISAC-IRSF, the World Rope Skipping Championships event, is held in Toronto, Canada. February 2007, the 4th Asian Rope Skipping Championships event is held in New Delhi in India. And then we go forward to March of 2014, where that $750 million has been raised since it started 35 years ago. And then this last one, June 2014, the U.S. National Jump Rope Championship is held in Long Beach, California. Wow, okay, so let's think about that timeline. I've got a couple questions for you. So what happened first, the jump rope-a-thon or the World Rope Skipping Championship? Take a look at your timeline and figure out which happened first. Was it the jump rope-a-thon or the World Rope Skipping Championship? That's right, it was the jump rope-a-thon. That happened back in 1978, and those championships are now in, it happened in 2006. All right, and then when and where did the U.S. National Jump Rope Championship listed on the timeline take place? Hopefully you saw that one over on June 2014. Okay, well, that is the end of our article and our question. So now it's your turn. It's time for you to go find a nonfiction book, hopefully, or an article. I was going to say an article or a magazine or newspaper, anything that you have. Some of them, depending on what sort of article, or, well, an article is not going to have a table of contents, I was going to say. Or sometimes magazines do. They usually do in the beginning. But don't forget to use some of our text features along the way today as you're silently reading for at least 25 minutes. Go find a comfy spot. Happy reading!